Do you ever hear that story about the two siblings and one being just a little uglier than the other? This is that story. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another great episode of Bicycle Showcase. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Pretty good.
You having a good week so far?
So far.
Yeah, nice. I'm having a great week. I was in Sedona, and I'm going to be going back to Sedona next week, which you guys, I'm sure, have seen the shorts and the videos as far as that goes, and who can complain about Sedona? So, although this guy doesn't hike, I would totally take him with me, but he's not a hiker, and I don't want to have to, potato sack carry him up the trail.
Walking sucks.
Yeah. So, and once again, we're at Trek Bicycle Stores, West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. I know, I digress. It's because where the cool kids hang out, and me. And today, we are going to talk about the very sad tale of the really good-looking sibling who's smart and plays sports, and the ugly sibling who just wants to be noticed.
He's trying so hard.
Right. I'm such a dick. It's really not that bad, but to me it is, because that's just how I roll. So, and more to the point, we are talking about the Trek FX Sport 5 carbon fiber all-around hybrid bike versus the Trek Dual Sport 3
Yes.
hybrid bike.
Top of the line dual sport.
Right, and God, the last comparison that we did with the Checkpoint and the FX, I said I really am now questioning the need for the dual sport line. Granted, it has front suspension, we'll get to that, but oof, Brandon, this one's odd. Odd.
Just like the Checkpoint,
right?
A year ago, I would have never put that bike against this bike.
Right.
But this year, they put gravel tires on it. They're forcing me to make this a gravel bike, a hybrid bike.
Oh, dude, this is smooth.
It's super cool. Again, last year, this was a high-speed road bike.
Yeah.
And this year, it has so much more capability. It has the ability to go gravel, and it's a higher-end bike.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely.
It competes now to me. If someone comes in looking for a hybrid bike, I'm going to show them the Dual Sport, and I'm going to show them this bike. I would have never done that a year or two ago.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. So, start off the bat, $979, so we're just under $1,000, $2,099, call it $2,100. So there is a price difference between these two. Carbon fiber, aluminum.
Aluminum.
Yeah, so there's huge things. Solid carbon fiber bladed fork. You're going to have a suspension fork on here, which 60 millimeters of travel?
Looks like it. It's not super. It's not very adjustable.
No,
it's not a very nice feeling fork. It does take the edge off, but it is not a performance fork.
Not in any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And to be honest with you, I would rather have, like we see on the Salsa Cutthroats or even here, that one-piece solid carbon fiber fork. They do a lot to remove that low frequency and everything, and I think that's more important than having something that's a lot more as far as additional weight goes.
I was going to say, I think it's a tank.
It is a tank. In the last couple, we didn't even talk about weight, which I'll add in post-production. There'll be a banner. But when it comes to weight, the FX5 is definitely lighter than your Dual Sport 3. Right. And part of the reason is, that's just, I don't know. That's a bad puka shell necklace you never should have bought in high school, as far as that.
It is all right. It takes the edge off, and that's all it's really supposed to do. Don't think you're going to get any high performance out of it or a ton of adjustability.
No.
It does have a lockout, so you can disable it.
Right.
But,
I know. Pick your poison as far as that goes. They both have Bontrager rims.
And they're both tubeless ready.
Tubeless ready, which is great. Both rocking disc brakes. Now this is hydraulic, and we're looking at hydraulic.
Also hydraulic.
Okay,
correct.
Just want to make sure. We've got the GRX group on this bike.
This one's a Dior bike.
It's a Dior. This one over here. We've got one by.
And a
one by. So we're doing good.
Great. The Dual Sport 3 comes with a great component package.
It does.
That Dior is super smooth, super reliable. It's fine.
And for what you're going to use it for, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, the RX, the GRX group on this is just, it's a completely huge step up as far as that goes. Now, when we talk about geometry, I think this one has a little bit more relaxed geometry, a little bit more upright stance. I could see this one being a more comfortable ride. That being said, I have not had a chance yet to ride the Dual Sport. You know, it's the first time I'm seeing one in the large. They've had them for, you know, the midget people, the mediums and the smalls. But as far as geometry goes, this one being slightly more aggressive, how is that going to affect terrain and rider preference?
I don't know if I would say this one's more aggressive.
Okay.
I think they're fairly evenly matched. I think the FX is going to be slightly more sporty in the way you sit on it.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
All right. There you have it as far as that goes. They both have the same amount of mounts as far as that goes. And when I say aggressive and everything like that, guys, we're talking within just a few degrees. You know, I had someone comment and said, but this bike has, you know, it was different on the top tube geometry. And when I looked it up, it was like 0.9% difference.
Right.
Sure, if you want to split that hair, we can split that hair, and I get it. But it's not anything that I think people are going to notice. Now, of course, toe strap pedals. And now I'm just kind of pointing stuff out that just has regular shin killers.
Yeah.
Lose the toe straps, guys, if you were to get this one. It'd be
would.
the first thing that I would replace. I would actually, on this one, I would go clipless.
Take a tip from Joe Biden.
Right. Or any of us that have ridden kids. Yeah, it's happened to the best of us riding clipless pedals or toe straps or whatever. So now let's talk about riding. We've talked about this one could be an entry-level gravel bike because of the choice of tire and rim.
Right.
This one definitely entry-level gravel, just we got the front suspension, and I again use that term loosely, but the tire and rim set.
Right. I do consider this still our true hybrid bike.
Okay.
That bike that's meant to do off-road and on-road.
Okay.
Now, when you're trying to do that, it doesn't do either particularly well, but this is our true hybrid.
Right.
I feel like.
Now, for kicks and giggles, could you put front suspension on this? If you were so inclined,
could. It wouldn't be
looks-
as clean.
Yeah,
would
it
not
definitely
look
wouldn't be as clean, but you
sure.
could if you wanted to.
I think so.
Yeah. You'd have to find the
I'd
right
have to,
fork,
I'd have
though.
to see how bad we'd mess up the geometry.
Yeah.
How bad it would come up, but somebody probably could.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not going to do it. There's some things I do and some things I refuse to. I would not. I'd leave it alone. So.
Yep. Maybe like that Lau fork or the gravel
I'm not a fan of that. Maybe the RockShox gravel fork, but I'm not.
Something like that
not
could
afraid of the
could
Lauf.
potentially work. I haven't thought about that too much though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. You know, if you're one of those guys like me and just dying to try something different and you end up putting a front suspension, let us know. I'd love to see that. It would be interesting. So at this point, Brandon, you know, obviously, if someone had a budget and this was their budget, this is the one you're going to put them in. If they're like, hey, here's my budget and it encompassed both this one and this one, what are you going to put them in and why? Where are you going to push that rider?
I shit on the Dual Sport a lot. I do. I'm not a fan of this bike. It's a good bike. It is solid. It can be a commuter. People have a great time. It could be for that guy that wants to ride the canal trails here.
Yeah.
Try gravel on a flat bar. It works fine. If you have a little bit of a more finely tuned palate, shall we say, you will not be happy with the Dual Sport. I am a jaded, spoiled piece of crap.
Or bougie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get the Dual Sport. Ugh.
Right. So
I'd rather walk home.
when I ride that, I feel, oh, this is a bike that actually has some life. It feels good. It rides nice. It has a spring in its step.
It does.
When I ride that bike. I've been on so many bikes, so I kind of know how I want my bike to feel.
Yeah.
This one does not do it for me.
Right.
But for most people who are not like me, that just want a bike that's gonna, it fits the budget and
It works.
you're trying out, it does work. It is a nice bike.
Yeah.
Despite how
a good
much
point A to B.
I punch down on it.
Yeah. And I almost want to say you could put a dropper on that one, externally routed from PNW. Yeah. And I think with the diameter of this one, if you were so inclined, you could put a dropper post on this one and externally routed.
I think so. I think there's a spot for it.
And come down here and come up back through here. So,
Right.
and again, these are just things not that we necessarily do, but kind of throwing it out there.
And I'm glad they gave this bike a little more versatility this year. Again, I always refer to my wife's bike. She has the FX from a few years ago, and that is strictly a road-only bike.
Right.
Now, you could do that with this bike by putting new, different tires on it.
Absolutely.
Also, I'm not a huge fan of the GR tires. Off-road, I think they're a beautiful tire, those GR1s.
Right.
On road, I feel like they're a bit sluggish, a little too low air pressure. I don't like them as much for that.
I like the Panaracers, and I like the Maxxis ones.
The Maxxis Speed Terrains
Yeah,
are
the
awesome.
Speed
They're
Terrains.
a little bit more efficient on road. Now these, when they're off-road, they really come to life.
Yep.
They really feel beautiful. But my gravel ride is almost 50 to 60% road until I get to the gravel.
Right.
So I need something with a little more performance on the road.
He rolls around in the dirt and then says he went mountain biking.
Yeah.
It's not true. But I gotta bust his chops. Just rolling around a
true,
little
though.
bit. I got dirty. I went mountain biking. So no, we joke. We have a good time here. You guys know that.
But
so.
also what you could do is put some larger diameter, some like 32 gator skins on here or
Right.
something, or some larger road tires, and then you got a pretty kick-ass flat bar road bike.
Yeah, you do. Again,
If you have no
amazing.
intention of going on the gravel.
Yeah, you got some amazing versatility here. And I would actually just change out the tires probably to the Maxxis so I could do both and not have to worry about different tire sets. So, anything else to add, Brandon? At that note, I think we've covered it and everything like that.
that's
So,
pretty
I
good.
mean,
That's
both
enough.
solid bikes. Again, I think this is going to have more versatility. But if you're looking for something that is just meat and potatoes, strong, solid, point A to point B, you cannot go wrong with a dual sport. It is still that bike. I would like to see them phase that out though and do just a very the Sport FX from like 2 series or something up to 6. Right. So you have like a good range, as far as change the component group, but give them a good range, an aluminum version of this frame and the carbon fiber version. if you
Anything
wanted to.
below the Sport will be aluminum. They still
Okay.
make the FX, and anything that doesn't have the Sport name on it is going to be that road-only platform.
Okay.
It's aluminum road-only. Once you get to the Sport,
Then we're stepping up.
it
Okay.
comes to this.
Well, there you go. There's the differentiator, I guess. So, all right, guys. On that note, hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell notification icon. You know the drill. It's the trifecta. It helps out the video and the channel. Park passes, gas money, coffee money. We got to have those. There's going to be some links down below. The first one's Trek Bicycle Store, West Phoenix. Any questions? Follow that link. Give Brandon a call. Talk to him or one of his guys. We'll be more than happy to help you out on anything that you've seen today or any of the other videos for Toolbox Topic or Bike Showcase. Link's going to be up top. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it's the devil's work, but it's necessary, and that's where you're going to find our day-to-day affairs, our announcements for group activities, including hikes and rides. There's a lot of fun going on. So show us some love. Follow us on social media as well. The other links are affiliate links. Some of them, you're not going to be charged anything additional, but we will receive a commission. And again, it helps out the channel, helps us out with gas money, park passes, and coffee money. It's important, especially the coffee. I don't want to be, I'm drinking decaf these days, guys, so it really doesn't matter. It's fake coffee, It's dirty water at that point with some creamer in it. So, all right, guys, remember, be kind to yourself and others, be amazing stewards on the trail, and we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get out, Arizona.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on that next adventure. Brandon, have a good week, man.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.